Hey, this is Cameron, and welcome to the practice log. Whoa. I have some thoughts about performance, because as you may know, I don't know if you know this, I'm in grad school. I pretty often have to perform, like for the studio, through like masterclass usually. There's a couple other opportunities outside of that as well. But I have a lot of thoughts about my philosophy of performing right now. Just from doing it so often, I have a lot of time to kind of revise and like try things, and then things that don't work, I'm like, why didn't that work? So maybe I'll talk a little bit about what I've been thinking about with that. But in case this is your first practice log, let me go ahead and say, first, I'm a classical guitarist, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit. Small talk. How's the weather? It's pretty, I think it's raining where I am right now. Don't use that to geolocate me, it's not gonna work. Second, I'm gonna be answering some common questions or just talking about stuff more in depth. And then third, I'm gonna play something that I've been working on for you. I think I might do Beatle 997 today because I've been making progress on that. It's been like a week and a half since I last played it for you. Let me talk a little bit about performance first. I don't have a whole lot of performance experience. I'm what's known as a bedroom guitarist. Like, not fully, honestly. Like, I've gigged and stuff, but I've only gigged on electric guitar, and classical guitar is just a whole other beast. I feel like your right hand is so exposed, unless you have appropriate fingerings. Like, there are strategies for when you're like actually fingering music to like constantly have a plant on the string, because that does make you feel much more secure. I find that when I'm in a performance setting, my hand is oftentimes like kind of just floating, and then the shakes come on really easily there. And something that I kind of figured out this past time, because I got super nervous the last time I played in my master class. Like, just more nervous than even the first time I played. Like, the most nervous I think I've ever felt, which is so weird. It's like, why? Why would you get so nervous for something so mundane? I don't know. I have to figure myself out. And here's what I've done, because I've done some thinking on it. I think I just fundamentally don't trust my hands unless the conditions are optimal. And that comes from a lot of things. Like, when you practice guitar, for example, let me know if this sounds like you. You warm up for like however long, 30 minutes, get nice and toasty, maybe play through your music a little bit, then like work on spots, and then at the end of like this 2-hour practice session where you just practiced your heart out, you play your music, and it sounds pretty good. You're also in the most optimal position possible. Like, I just got done practicing for 2 hours, and then I immediately jump into my music. I didn't even get up from my chair. And then you walk around with that idea in your head, like, oh yeah, I play this music at about that level. When really, that's incorrect. You don't play music at that level. At the most optimal, you play at that level, sure, but no performance is like that. You don't get to just warm up for 2 hours in a row without ever leaving your chair, and then finally when you're ready, without ever saying anything or announcing it, you just kind of start playing. That's just not how things work, right? So if you have that idea, that false idea of how good you are, and once you do get on stage to actually perform, once you feel that you're not in that optimal state, at least for me, I think I just freak out, and I'm just like, this is not optimal. I don't feel as comfortable as I want to feel to show what I'm really able to do. And looking back on that, I think that's honestly what I've been feeling nervous about every time I perform. It's this obsession with wanting to be in the perfect situation to be able to play as I play in that perfect situation. In like the optimal, I just practiced for 2 hours and I've been sitting down this whole time, and now I'm finally going to play my music. I should never think that I'm that good. Like, I am not as good as me at the end of a practice session. So I've been changing my strategy a bit with how I practice performing and like my actual mindset with how I'm getting into it. I've only done this like 2 days in a row or so, but first thing I'm doing, right when I wake up, that first practice session, usually it's dedicated to warming up, Raschiatos, rest stroke. You guys know I'm all about rest strokes now. I spend like 30 minutes or so just in the morning just hammering that stuff out. I don't know if that's the first thing I should be doing anymore. What I've been doing, and what I think I'm going to keep doing now, is I'm going to start my morning playing through my repertoire as if it's a performance. One take. That's all you got. Maybe like 2 or 3 pieces, like long enough to actually become warmed up. And especially that first piece you play. That's the one that you kind of want to cycle, because that first piece is the hardest. Like, you just got out of bed. Your hands are all like crusty and not working properly. That's when you should be playing your music. And then that is the idea of your playing that you should have in your head. You should not have this idea that you at your optimal is how you actually sound. It is how you wake up in the morning. No stretching, no warm up. Play your music. That's how good you are. And I think with that mindset, in the next performance setting, as long as I actually feel that way, what could go wrong, you know? Like, what am I nervous about? Like, I already expect my hands not to work super well. And hopefully the next time I do have a performance setting, I will actually be warmed up. So hopefully the conditions won't even be as bad as what I'm used to in the morning. You see what I'm getting at here? And I've been trying another one. I don't know if I'll do it in this video. I've heard people talk about this, like some performing pianists will do this, where they try to put themselves in the worst conditions possible. They'll do it like holding ice cubes until they can't anymore and then try to play through their rep and just see how it goes. I'm trying this, not with ice cubes, but I think with working out and doing pull-ups. Because working out, it gets your adrenaline going, it strains your hands, especially pulling. So what I've been doing is, I'll actually do a max set of pull-ups, which you might be surprised by what a max set is for me. It's over 12. I always get over 12, and they're solid pull-ups too. Ah, man, maybe I'll do them today. We'll see. I just gotta prove that I can do them. But I'll do a max set of pull-ups and then immediately go to play my rep and see how it comes out. And it comes out bad. Like, it comes out really bad, but I think I'm getting used to it. I don't know if I'd recommend anybody actually doing that, but I'm trying it just because I feel like it's working for me. I don't know, there are other places in my life where I've seen getting used to how you prepare for something versus how you actually perform at that thing. Like pull-ups, for example. Pull-ups are something that I've done like basically since I've become an adult. I'm pretty good at them. I never warm up for them, and I can max out the first set, and there's no amount of stretching beforehand that I think will make me get more pull-ups in that first max set. Just because I'm used to maxing out on the first set with no warm-up. And that is kind of a performance. Like, you're going for the highest number. Obviously, there's no, like, pressure, but you kind of make the pressure in your head. When I relate that to my guitar playing, never do I ever start a performance just cold, seeing how I do. But you could probably get used to that, you know? And once you're used to that, I imagine it's the same as pull-ups. Like, obviously, you could probably still optimize by warming up a little bit, but if you're not used to playing without being warm, you're gonna sound really bad. That's why I think it's a good reason to get used to it. So, playing right when you wake up. Also, in the middle of working out, I've been finding myself doing that, where I'll do a set of pull-ups, play through lobe de Trennen, another set of pull-ups, play through the Bach, another set of pull-ups. It's actually good because it does fatigue your hands, and I've always been kind of weary. Like, I try to work out at the right time where I'm not going to be playing guitar right after. But now my mindset's kind of changed, where it's like, oh, I'm working out, I should play guitar right now. Let's see how I sound after doing this max set of pull-ups. So it's good. Like, it's hard, but I see the light at the end of the tunnel for that. I think my biggest thing with playing right now is just actually trusting my hands to do what they need to do, and not freaking out about them not doing what they need to do. And also not caring, even if they don't do what they should do, just, that's okay. They don't have to. I just go back and I try again. Hopefully all that makes sense. That was probably just a whole bunch of rambling, but I've been thinking a lot about performing, and I've had some frustrations about bringing what I do in the practice room to a performance. I've been struggling with that. So, you know, I'm hoping that I'm onto something here. We'll see. You know what? I'll try it today. I'll do a max set of pull-ups. I'll film it on my phone, and then I'll go right to playing. And you know what? It might suck, because I'm not used to it. I'll play Beatle 997 like that, but we'll see. You know, just as an example, just to show you what I'm talking about. It's hard, too, like, especially when your forearms are strained, and then you go to play for, like, 4.5 minutes, like in 997. It's tough. So, we'll see how I do. Alright, that was terrible small talk. I'm sorry about that. I feel like I rambled for... Oh yeah, I rambled for 13 minutes straight. Okay, I need to answer some of your comment questions. I owe that to you. And then I'm going to do that whole stupid thing that I said. So, this one is from Cuckaruzo. What's up, Cuckaruzo? How's it going? And this is from probably one of my recent rest stroke videos, because I've really been talking about rest stroke a lot. What's the equivalent of rest stroke on an electric guitar? A lot of good questions from these videos. There is an equivalent of rest stroke, and I've actually specifically heard this from prog metal bassist, what's his face from Periphery, Nolly Get Good, that's his name. And I think probably a lot of prog metal bassists do this too, where basically the idea is taking the pick and driving it into the guitar, landing on the other string, and in that you get this really consistent, almost MIDI-like tone. You know, I'm just like playing scales. The way Nolly does it is amazing, though. I really like the band Periphery. But yeah, that's kind of the equivalent to rest stroke that I see, because obviously when you're playing with a pick, like, that's all free stroke. Versus like what you hear from like those Paco videos that I've been showing. That's the equivalent. There's some disadvantages to the rest stroke pick. Like, obviously one of them is that you can only downstroke. I don't think you can do this rest stroke adaptation down picking. But something that I see a lot, because, like, again, these are bass guitar players that I'm talking about. There's the pop, right? You guys know pop? Pop, right? It's when you actually take the string and slam it into the fretboard, and it makes this popping sound. You never do it in classical guitar. Classical guitar technique is all about eliminating the pop, because you're pushing into the guitar for any given note. You would never do that. Maybe in flamenco you would do that. But when we're talking about like prog metal picking with bass, the downstrokes are rests, and then usually the upstrokes will be a sort of pop too, and that works, because again, it's a bass guitar. So you end up with like rest stroke, and then pop. You get like that kind of stuff, right? What's nice about rest stroke with fingers, obviously, is that you can do 2 in a row, so you can get that faster, and you get that nice fat rest stroke sound. Because, you know, playing with a pick, we especially heard that in the Paco and Al Di Meola video. Man, rest stroke sounds so much better with fingers than any kind of picking you can do. It can be rest stroke, it can be the popping, I don't care what it is. It's not going to sound as good as fingers doing rest stroke, especially on a nylon string guitar. On a bass guitar, running through like compressors and amps and stuff, it's a little bit different. But an acoustic, piezo, like maybe mic'd classical guitar, nah, I don't think so. It's gonna sound weak and bad. So yeah, in conclusion, yes, there is an equivalent. It's not worth doing though, unless you're playing bass or whatever. I don't know. Just play whatever you want. Don't listen to me. Why are you letting me deter you from just playing what you want? So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna do a max set of pull-ups for you, then I'm gonna immediately go to playing BWV 997 Prelude. Things are getting crazy here on Sore Hands. We're getting weird and wacky. Let's do it. See you on the other side. What's up, YouTube? So like I said, I'm gonna do some pull-ups, max to failure, and then we're gonna go right into playing the Prelude to BWV 997. Let's freaking get it, YouTube! Oh, God. Alright, that's it. I'm gonna play. See you there. That's all I get. Still a little bit out of breath, actually. That was tough. And you might have heard that in this whole explanation, and you're just like, wait, you just want to, like, show off doing pull-ups? Yes. That was the only purpose of this whole thing. Thanks for watching. My hands feel shaky. Like, I've done this a few times, and I think doing it for you right now, knowing that this is actually my only time to show what I'm about to play there in this video. I'm not playing that again, and I only played it once. Yeah, I feel like that pretty well recreated the pressure and also kind of the hand betrayal of an actual performance, because my hands were betraying me, but it forced me to just kind of push through it and to just try to develop this trust that even my hands, at their absolute worst, it's still gonna play the music, and that's fine. Like, you don't have to worry about your hands not being able to just, like, do something. Because I think that's what I worry about. It's like, what if my hands just freeze up and I'm just unable to play? That's, like, a legitimate fear. I might not subject you to my playing after doing pull-ups, like, very often, but I think I'm gonna do that pretty frequently, like, every day. Max set pull-ups and then just try to play. Because my hands were, like, shaky. Like, I actually felt nerves from that. So yeah, I feel good about that. And I got through it. And it was fine. Like, it sucked. It was not to my normal quality of playing. I know that. Maybe you thought it was. Who cares? I know it wasn't, though. Like, I think the last time I played it, it was way better. And when I played anything, it was way better than that. But man, it shows you, like, what your hands can actually do, like, realistically. That's where my practice is. Sorry, this one was, like, a little venti. I don't think I had any, like, jokes or anything in this one, but there will be jokes coming up. I got a good one coming up after this. Yeah, that Paco and Al Di Meola video. That one's doing well. I kind of feel like Sore Hands is back after that one. I've been kind of dying a little bit last month. But yeah, you know, guitar progress, really trying to think outside the box with how to fix these really hard to tackle issues. Do you guys have any strategies for dealing with performance anxiety? I'd love to hear that. Maybe I'll try out some of your strategies if there's things you can do. Like, you know, max freaking push-ups next time. I don't know. I tried max push-ups. It's not as bad. I'm able to play, like, almost to my full quality after push-ups. So pull-ups tear you up. You cannot recover from that quickly. Like, I probably still couldn't play. But I could, though. I could play. And even that quality playing, like, at least it's still Bach, you know? It's a little crummy and shaky. And it also doesn't help that I'm wearing gym shorts right now. I feel really unstable wearing gym shorts. I have to wear, like, actual pants when I play guitar, or else I'm just, like, slipping all over the place. So all that instability, that was all very reminiscent of a performance, so I'm happy about that. All right, well, I think we can go ahead and wrap this one up here. I feel kind of bad ending it. I feel like we didn't talk for very long, but of course, comment questions, feel free to leave those, and I'll take a look at those. All right, let's go ahead and wrap this thing up. So, if you made it this far, be sure to subscribe and leave a like. And hey, be sure to do all your pull-ups before you play. Do your push-ups too. Oh my god. Rutan's Delight. Head on down over there if you want some gym attire. I sell tank tops. Bream Team tank top. Bream Team. Then what else? Patreon member section. I really appreciate that. And maybe a guitar lesson. Like, I don't have any slots available, but if you email me, I'll see it. And, you know, I appreciate the interest in that. All right, well, I'll see you in the next one.